Wait to return to the time when everything was easy to learn. Don't know when it started to get so serious. Building up an illusion of a world full of trust. Moving on when everything's gone. It's hard to be strong. Confusion in my mind, no way to turn back time. My soul in need of remedy, don't even know the enemy. When I feel out of touch, can't seem to get enough. Hiding away from everyone, I don't know where I'm coming from. It feels like it never happened, maybe just a dream. Could it be my imagination running out of steam? All I know is every time I see you, I feel insecure. I'm unable to find the words, how can I be sure? I'm holding on when everything's gone. I've gotta be strong. Confusion in my mind, no way to turn back time. My soul in need of remedy, don't even know the enemy. When I feel out of touch, can't seem to get enough.
What's up, everybody? Happy Thursday in the house. Pumped up. We're almost to Thanksgiving. How we doing today? If you're coming in here for the first time, my name is John Ryan, Coffee Talkin' Tech. We do a live stream on Thursdays with my partner, J.A. in the house. We do a live stream Tuesdays and Thursdays. Thanks for coming in, guys. Yeah. How we doing, man? Let's get right to it. Let me get rid of my name. And I hope everybody's doing well. And I see a little talk in the beginning between J.A. and my mom. Pizza. Pizza is always one of my favorite things. I love pizza. So if you like pizza, tell me, what is your favorite pizza? What's your favorite topping? And do you like thin? So tell me if it's thin crust or thick crust, and what topping you prefer the most. I'd be interested to know. So let us know. And we're going to go bring in J.A. and say hi to the man, the myth, the legend, as we bring him in. What's going on,
More
bro?
of a myth.
What's going on, bro?
A lot.
What's
a lot's going on.
bro?
Okay, I'm just going to guess that you have a coffee cup close by. This reeks of coffee. This reeks of coffee energy. I'm just going to tell you right now.
This is the typical coffee energy.
I'm just saying, I feel a little coffee pep. I'm good, man. I've got a lot going on, like a lot of people. And as you mentioned, Thanksgiving is right around the corner. I'm excited and also fearful of it. But I'm looking forward to it. But I don't know, man. There's a lot to do, right? So
yeah,
got Black Friday's coming up. We got all sorts of fun stuff happening.
Yeah. We have Black Friday coming around the corner, and we need to start putting some things away in our Amazon list, and that we could refer back to that we're interested in, that we could bring up.
Already am.
Let me check who's here. We got. Oh, isn't this wonderful? Oh.
Look at that. She's Marley. Mrs. B Fitness is almost at 500 subs.
Yeah.
So,
but do you see where my chat is coming up on?
Yeah, it's over there. What's going on?
What's there? Which is
What's happening?
Doing that. I have no idea.
Did you, John? Did you sleepwalk and break your VMix last night?
Oh my God.
Are you sleepwalking? I don't know about you, man. I'm not sleeping well lately. Like I'm having dream. I never dream. I don't know if you people in chat, if you dream. I don't dream that much, but when I do, they're absolutely terrifying, and they wake me up. But I think you were sleepwalking, which is something I used to do as a kid. Scared the hell out of my mom, and like, I don't know. Why would that be happening?
Oh God, I know why.
So for all you, this is a demo on VMix.
This is.
On VMix,
what?
How is that coming up? Okay, I'm just I'm working through that in my head. That almost seems impossible, John.
No, it's possible. It is possible.
Well, you've showed that.
So let's see if I bring it here. That's working.
Oh, look at that guy, JA. He's just annoying.
All right, so what I got to do?
But yes, let's help our good friend Miss B Finesse get to her 500. Excited for her.
Yeah, that's awesome. I actually was watching her a little bit today. I'm just going to try to make a quick change and see if I can do this. This is what happens when you're too busy all the time with stuff, and then you don't do the right thing half of the time, probably.
Miss B, you were talking about a screen being darkened. Do you mean one of our screens, both of our screens? I was just making a change. That's why. That's all. You think that's what it? No, okay.
Yeah, we should be good now because I made the change on the fly in here, so that's why it just blacked out for a second. So now you guys obviously see the chat where it's supposed to be, right?
Yeah, you got it again, man.
I'm sorry, guys. Yeah. So I did this wonderful stream last night with Uncle Stu, the old man on the block, and we did like a 3-hour stream. And so I got to bed a little late, ran the work, came back crazy. So I was trying to catch up with getting everything done. And of course, when you live stream, you're darn lucky if nothing goes wrong half of the time. So if you can get one or two things, then that's pretty darn good at that point, I think.
Yeah, but I mean, it's going to happen, man.
Hey, Todd. Hello.
What's going on, Todd?
We got
free Christmas
Martin
trees
in the house.
Martin.
So he's up late. Happy Friday from the future because it's,
that's right.
5 hours ahead in UK.
We got to catch up to him.
Yeah, 5 or 6 for that matter.
Do you think, I mean, maybe, I don't know. I've been anxious all day, so maybe I'll be calmer.
Thank you. So she's been rocking it out herself. She's been putting the hours in the hard work with the live stream in Miss B Finesse. And so, if you haven't checked out her channel, check out each other's channels, support each other.
Absolutely.
And especially the people that are putting that hard work in, Run DMC. Thank y'all. You like the shirt. Thank you, Tommy. How do you like Jeff's shirt? How do you like Jeff's shirt? I be illin'. It's time to rock around. Just rock around. It's tricky. You don't like that.
It's not. It's not going to get any better, folks.
Sorry, man.
It's peaked. The show's peaked. So it's okay if you check out right about now.
Sorry.
That's hilarious. No, I love the Run DMC shirt. Hey,
how we doing?
Hey.
Trash Can Waves is in the house. You got Jen's Closet Gems. How you doing, Jen? Thin crust pepperoni. I that's probably one of my favorites right there. And
are you thin crust or thick crust? That's always an argument like we get into. I'm just curious, thick or thin? People?
I like thick meat and then thin crust. Whoa. I don't know. I think she's probably not talking about pizza at this point. Now, I hope that this comes up. The life of...
That's fun. I have so much to say, but I'm going to keep this reasonable tonight.
So, Stu...
I could get off the rails. I don't want to do that.
Thank you for the super chat. If it doesn't come up, it's because I was up late with you. But Stu just dropped a super chat to me,
like you just,
$10 super chat.
I just feel like you blame Stu.
I'm going to use him as an excuse today because it just, I can't take it myself. So.
I did see it. That was really nice of Stu. $10 dropped on Super Chat.
Thank you so much.
Very nice. A really good interview last night with you two. I dipped into it. I'll finish watching it tonight. Sorry I couldn't be there because I was out. Well, I had to go do something with my roommate here in the house, my wife.
Right.
And whoa, back it up. Thin barbecue, yes. Big fan of the barbecue chicken pizza. Oh my God, yes.
Absolutely.
God, I love that. There's a place around here that's full on just amazing God, love it.
I love mushroom too, but he's saying he's carb free for now. That's really good. I need to get back on that. I was doing really good with having very low carbs because I am definitely carb sensitive, and so it definitely affects me in a lot of negative ways. Plus, I'd be much better off without dairy and grain products too, because it causes inflammation, and if you're susceptible to those types of things, it will affect you even more. And then having a couple of motorcycle accidents and having pains to begin with in my hands and arms, it really was helping me with everyday type of pain. So, I'm going to get back on that. By the way, this is my Uncle Carl and my Aunt Denise. They're coming in from Hawaii again.
Hello, Uncle Carl. I remember when they popped in a couple months ago.
So he's saying pepperoni, not Hawaiian pineapple pizza. Thank God. Thank God. Right. No one in New Jersey puts pineapple on or from Jersey on their pizzas.
Somebody does. That's a lie. There's a lot of people doing it in the secret dark corners of their kitchen. They're just not telling you.
I hope not.
At the meetings. They're not telling you at the New Jersey meetings.
I don't judge, though. Like, pizza is good pizza. Whatever you want to put on it. We could put some crazy stuff. Pizza is great. Stu, how you doing? I saw what you did. You put another video up. You broke that live stream down.
You guys,
awesome stuff.
Look a lot alike. He looks like the good-looking version of you.
He's the good-looking version, bro.
He's the good-looking version.
Yeah. If he just if he works on his tan, he'll be damn close to me. So still, I hope that that made him laugh right now. I hope he's laughing in his chair when he sees that. I want to say, thank you so much to JT Coin Rings. I really appreciate that. I've learned so much from your videos. Thank you so much. That is very kind for you to do and drop that. And I met you when through Blind Guy, his wife, and their life, and I found about what you do, and we connected there. And Stu, also, I want to thank you always for what happened last night. We had a great live stream. My wife came on the live stream and we talked for literally an hour, which was quite unbelievable. So I was shocked at that matter.
That you could talk for an hour?
Well, first of all, she talked about a lot of good stuff. So it was, and everyone was popping in there. And my wife's pretty intelligent, so it was awesome to see her in her groove talking about things that she's knowledgeable about too. Hey, Green Turf, what's going on, man? Thanks for coming in. I mean, this is great. I see he's popped in here that one time. He's like, I'm in here, sometimes and stuff. Like every time he says, and then he's like, he lets me know. I love that because it's just to know that someone's there every now and then is cool. Yeah, and Over the Top, WME, she was watching the stream last night with my wife. So a lot of people got to see my wife, and that was really cool at that point. So a brother of a certain age, this is a new person that's coming in here. Hopefully, I didn't screw up everything on my stream deck this week. So did we get confetti and everything working? Yay. Yes, there is. Thank you for stopping in here. I really appreciate that. He's saying that Martin Hughes common anxiety, try ground chicken and shredded mozzarella cheese, baked at 400 degrees for 20 minutes for your yes. So I hear about this. People make, they almost like a chicken salad kind of crust mix, and it's supposed to be amazing. My wife does the other crust that is, she can bake everything. No, she does something else. I can't remember. Hopefully she'll put it in the comments if she's here. But she does a really good job at making it taste really good. And here's
She may be taking the night off.
She might be.
Yes,
She's got a busy
I would love to
night.
come on and thank you so much. I think it's look at it. There's a $10 thing. Anytime,
Hello.
Uncle Stu, I'd love to jump on with you.
Elo, how are
Elo,
you?
oh Elo. Hey, by the way, I just want to give a shout out, Elo. I want to thank you for buying me a coffee the other night. That was a wonderful surprise in my email the next morning. I didn't know, and that was thank you for the support. Very gracious for that. Very gratitude-ish for that.
I installed a new PC this week in my studio. I knew he was setting that up. Spent so much time resetting up Stream Deck, but it's much neater now. Yeah, it really helps. And connecting that Stream Deck, you'll never go back. That's for a fact.
Can I just tell you though? Everybody's right about you want the 32 once you get to 15.
Right.
I really want that bigger one. I just especially for VMix. But anyway. It's just me.
It does. And here's Blind Guy, his wife, and their life. Thick or thun, gluten full. Yeah, I mean, there are ways to get around that. And my wife does a really good job when she makes these dishes that she makes. And I got down, I was up to 301 pounds. I got down to 248 in literally
That's big.
8 months.
That's really huge.
And so now the problem
That's a human.
is I'm 268, so I need to get like that back down to my fighting weight again. You know what didn't help? Live streaming. That's what didn't help.
Exactly. Yeah.
Getting into this groove didn't help the whole Sige.
You sit around a little bit. That's all.
Yeah,
you know,
it's
you
a
have to
little
really-
bit different. So, okay.
I lost about 12 or 13 pounds since when I met you almost. But how I did it was through the intermittent fasting.
Yes.
Because my body type, I realize if I start eating after 5 o'clock anything, it's a mess. And it eventually plateaus. So I'm only going to lose so much before then I plateau with that. But I was glad I went from like 200 to like 186 or something.
I didn't exercise at all when I lost that weight. So if I exercise, that will be even better. You know, so she's almost at 3,000 watch hours. I mean, you're going to get
Fantastic.
You're going to have no problem achieving all your numbers probably.
Yeah.
It's the platform that you're on with the type of stuff you're doing. I think you'll have absolutely no problem within the year. I mean, obviously, right? Because you only been doing this for like 3 months. I think from there, it's just about, from there, it's just about improving everything you're doing. So is it acceptable that you stay the same, or do you make these small improvements on every aspect? And so that's, you don't want to go back 6 months from now and say, do I look the same? Do I sound the same? Or is my whole stream the same? The way I approach the whole thing, is it the same?
Yeah.
Right? Because that's the hard answers that people, when you ask them, they probably won't be able to tell you because most don't look at it from the same point of view. But if you want to keep rolling to 10,000, 20,000, 30,000 subscribers, that's when that whole situation becomes imperative. And the sooner you catch on to what you need to do, the better things become, obviously. Uncle Stu, old man on the block, thank you so much for your generous support. I saw this. Stu came in. Now I picked up like around 11 subscribers from Stu's stream, and so I'm really appreciative of that. I didn't even get a chance to see some of them because you know how it is with new subscribers. You can only see who lets you see them, right? Because if their YouTube is private, then it's hard to see them. But I did see that some people.
It's a bummer though. It's kind of a bummer, right? Because you do want to go and support, and you can't because.
Well, a lot of people weren't there for me to check out their channels. Maybe some people are just being supportive, and that's that. But whoever I can see, I will go back and take a look and say hello and check their channels out. So, 84 called. They want their shirt back. Yeah, it's true.
That's okay. It's probably the last time it was washed too.
I'll be Jeff's mother of dragons. What does that mean?
I don't know, but I love it. Whatever that was, I love it. You'd be my mother of dragons.
I need Christmas in Hollis. Okay, so there's a couple things I want you guys to think about because next Thursday is Thanksgiving. I want to jump into taking a look of maybe what is interesting to some people on Amazon. Maybe a couple things you might want to keep in the back of your head. What I do is I drop them into saved items, and then I just keep on bouncing in and out and see if there's any good deals. And that's going to, even right now, there are a lot of things going on that are cheaper, and then they'll be up a little bit more. And you just got to keep your eyes out for a lot of those things. And these are types of things that you could just throw in there and see what benefits you. And if you want that, boom, you got it ready to go. So what type of headphones do you use? I got permission to use Amazon again.
Yeah, sometimes, sometimes you just, yeah.
He's got the great tan too.
Well, he does. He's got that nice, beautiful skull. Like if I was that bald, I would look stupid. I kind of have a cone head, I'm sure, underneath all of this.
Wouldn't.
I bet I do. I bet I have a complete cone head. Like I look like an alien, probably.
So which ones do you use?
These little beady eyes.
People ask this almost every stream. I'm going to get it together someday, and I'm going to put a whole list of everything we use. But what kind do you use again, Jeff?
I use the KZs. I'll look it up. Hang on a second.
Well, just the names.
It's a good question.
These are the K Bears.
I think it's the KZs. Yeah, they're very similar. Mine were a little more expensive. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure mine were the KZs, and I just had them up. That's why I was just going to pull them up.
And I have K Bear Larks. So these are the.
You want me to drop a link in there just so Larks. You can have one idea, and then you can,
Yeah, and you can take a look. The K Bear Larks were about $29.99.
A little cheaper.
And I did see that you can even pick them up on sale a couple times for $24.25. So you got to take a look.
I dropped them in there. These are the KZs. Now, they're the KZ S10 Pros. I like these. Now, I'm a musician, so I wanted a backup pair for drumming, and these have a little more dynamic range. So they're going to have more drivers. So they're going to provide a little more oomph and a little more clarity. But I like the low end with my kick drum. So for example, I love them for in-ear monitors for live streaming. You may, but they are a little more expensive at $48, but they're also $300 cheaper than the ones I use for reels and music. So
yeah, and these,
but they're really good. They're really good.
Yeah,
they're just fantastic.
I mean, they make a big difference. Then it's great to hear yourself. You want to make sure that any kind of music that you might bring in the side or your sound is always there. So I'm listening to myself right now speaking, or if I bring in the music, I could fade it out and I could see kind of how loud it sounds in the background and make those adjustments. But Blind Guy, his wife, in their life is saying John and Stu are still twinning and winning, but the team winner is Danielle Ryan, and I'd have to agree with that. She shined last night, and people were loving it. Hi, Cashew. How are you doing today?
Thank you for hitting the like. As always. Yeah, you guys are so great about that always. We always feel good afterwards with the likes you guys.
Yeah.
Leave.
I mean, this is the thing that I have to do. I have to start prepping, and I was talking to my wife about this, and she, you can't use buns, and I love the fact that those chaffles are amazing, and I need to make a bunch of chaffles ahead of time and use them for the week. Yeah. I would be so much happier if I did that. I can tell you that.
Martin, are you full on into the keto, or is it just something you use as a way to work around certain things in your diet? I'm just curious. I know a lot of people are into the keto and everything. I'm just curious. Love the intermittent. Yeah, I just have really found that to really work to keep. You can still eat what you want. I just tend to not eat before 11 o'clock, and I don't eat after 5 o'clock. And
right.
I'm not kidding. And then, I felt better, had more energy. Yep. And I lost weight with hardly any exercising at the time because I wasn't running at the time. And then I plateaued, which you will do, of course, everybody's body. So
this is a joke that Vinny and I have been using for 35 years probably.
Sure.
So we always say, I'm trying to get back to my original weight. And I always say 7, because I was 7 pounds, 8 ounces. So I always go, I'm trying to get back to my original weight, 7 pounds, 8 ounces. People
I'm thinking the 8 ounces is the brain part, maybe?
It's all brains. Brains, baby, brains.
I could take a shot at Vinny because he's good at dishing them out. He's good.
Yeah,
he's still need 15 hour. Yeah, I just, by the way, Martin, I just subbed because I realized for whatever reason I hadn't. And we'll get you some watch hours. I'm like, I don't know if I'm subbed to Martin because I'm like, how am I not seeing his stuff come up? All of a sudden it just kind of, because I'm really into the anxiety stuff. That's something that is near and dear to me.
All right.
And so I just went over there and subbed.
The other thing is, Martin, if you haven't yet, I just want to see, I really want you to make some playlists. I'm not sure if you did or not because I didn't check if you have playlists, but that's always a great idea because listen, let's just be truthful about everything. When we care about people that are in the same streets of us, right? And someone lets me know, like I am almost there with subscribers. I am almost there with this. Throw a playlist on, you help them out, you check their videos, you give them feedback, and that gets people maybe over the hump. And I don't really think that's cheating. I don't think it's because if I'm subscribed to you and we connect on this level, it's people helping good people, I feel at that point.
It'd be different if someone was paying you to do it, John, and you didn't know them or care, but it's a little bit different when you've been in their chats and you know each other and you're like, I'm going to go put the playlist on. And something that I think, again, I'm very interested in Martin's content, so that obviously helps. I would do it anyway, but I bet I can put a few hours on there, listen to things and learn something. Maybe I could learn something from it too.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah, you don't want people to know. Yeah. Oh, I knew it was the Game of Thrones, the Mother Dragon and all. But do you watch? You didn't watch the Game of Thrones series, did you?
No, I don't watch almost any TV.
Look on your face.
This is so. Thank you so much, though, brother of a certain age. Super chat, just because I'm part of the bearded, bald with glasses crew, and I saw you on
now
Uncle
I feel
Stu
left
with the
out.
Old Man Block. Thank you so much. That's nice. I really appreciate that, and I get floored every time that I get a super chat still. So thank you so much. I appreciate that. Yeah. And why my stream?
I'm literally the redheaded stepchild right now.
You are?
Well, I'm the only one. All you guys talking, you beautiful bald people, and I'm sitting here with hair, and I feel weird now because no one likes me. Like, where's my doppelganger?
No one likes me. What does that mean?
I'm just kidding. He's bearded, balded, glasses crew.
Yeah, I'm a moron. I screwed something up because now my super chats aren't here and stuff, and I deleted it. I messed something up.
Oh, man.
I'll have to fix it when I have a second. All right, so
I could tap dance while you fix it.
Hey, here's we stream like the same night as Healthy Bearded. So Healthy Bearded is a friend of Ken's, and he's also out of New Jersey. So he's in Central Jersey, and I'm up a little bit north. And
Jersey? The hell is that?
Yeah, word. And then so he's south of me, and the thing is, he streams on Tuesdays. I jumped in his stream. I said hi really quick. I said I got to go real fast, but I want to just say hey, and that's great to come in and just say hi. I appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
So he's saying that he needs to lose 32 pounds before February 25th for a black belt grading. Then I saw that it reversed my diet. Yeah. Okay. And now it's a life. Very good, Martin. That is awesome.
Ooh, which black belt are you going for? Are you in Taekwondo? What chance? Just curious.
Yeah, that would be interesting to know what discipline. Yeah, Absolutely.
I was thinking about going back, but I don't know. I'm getting old. I don't know if I want to go back and try to get my black belt.
Happy Thursday.
Those little 5-year-olds would beat the hell out of me, I think, if I went back.
I think I would probably destroy my shoulders because I have so much scar tissue from the younger years that it would probably be destroying my shoulders for sure. Sammy, how you doing? I see you're in the house, and he asked
if Sammy?
If we were going to do a Thanksgiving live stream. We're not, and so keep a lookout for Friday, which is Black Friday, and I'm going to probably do a live stream about 11 or 12ish, and so I'll put it up beforehand, and we're going to jump in again like tonight, taking a look at a few items that we might see that might be a great idea to pick up, and a few other things. And I also have something to go over, just a small discussion about shotgun mics and pencil mics and cardioid and supercardioid and hypercardioid and what that all means and why you would want one of those specific mics for your YouTube set, especially if you're not comfortable with using a mic in front of you, which I feel a lot of people don't like that. And so they go and get something that they think is like the greatest mic. It's this amount of money. And then there are, they may think it's decent, but I could tell you that I could probably get some of these mics that are $25 sounding probably close. So the idea is, to know what you specifically need and make sure you make contacts with people that know what they're talking about. And I don't know everything, but the things that I know. So if you ask me, I will help you with that. And so would Jeff. But when we don't know something and we skim it along to other people that know more than us. So,
I've had like some experience recently with them.
What the?
Good experience. And to your point, you can make really, really cheap pencil mics work really, really good for overheads. Just with a couple plugins and a little know-how. You don't need to overspend on that stuff. If you go outside, it could be a little bit different, of course. Uncle Stu.
I need help to get my numbers up too. Mostly need to see what else I need to do on my channel. Jay Smith, we are going to have the same earbuds, so we are all the same. You are
Sorry,
my other
John.
brother too.
I'm now the other
but
brother.
You're not a twin brother, bro. You're just the other brother.
Maybe, yeah, but in a way I'm more unique because I stand out from you as a brother.
We'll see. Listen, Stu, we'll be able to do those types of things. Actually, another person that is reached out and we talk is Abel's Treasures. And so we were connecting and talking about some improvements that he's making. And so it's not something that and by the way, Uncle Stu, thank you for that super chat. That's just ridiculous. So thank you so much.
It is so ridiculous. Enough with that.
Enough with that. But anyway, I thank you so much.
Tonight.
But
I'm sorry.
yeah, and don't feel weird about asking questions or sending an email.
No,
it's much easier and faster for me to check Instagram. So if you reach out on Instagram, which Darlene got Instagram, by the way, and she was on today. So that was really cool.
Oh, that's so great.
And she reached out. Yeah. And so reach out to me on Instagram, Coffee Talk and Tech, and we can connect and you can ask more questions and we can discuss the things that you need to improve upon. And I'll give you that feedback. And I'm going to talk about the mics in a little bit. And I want you to hang out and listen to what I have to say. The Flippin' Sports guy. And I'm not even swearing.
Flippin'.
That's what his name is. How you
I
doing,
know
man?
his name is
Thanks
Flippin'.
for coming in.
Yeah, you didn't have to bomb anything there.
John throws on Run DMC shirt, and now he speaks a new language, talking the Jers stuff.
He's just all of a sudden he's all street cred because he's got a Run DMC shirt on that every kid in the world has now that they don't know what it means.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, man. You know what, John? Follow the crowd. Follow the crowd.
Follow the crowd, right? Oh God, that was my music, man. That was my era for sure. It is Taekwondo. Been doing it for 40 years now.
All right.
And this is the final grading on my 8th.
I started when I was in my 20s and I stopped about 15 years later, and I just never got to that final couple belts. And I wish I had. Life got busy.
I wish that I had.
That's incredible. That's incredible.
That is incredible. Congratulations for making it as far as you have, too.
That's a commitment. And it's a skill. It's incredible. It's a discipline.
Absolutely.
And you know what? I'd love to have a discussion with him someday about how much that intertwines with his discussion about anxiety and the role that may or may not play.
Sports and being athletic and being active are a huge part of life's balance. Definitely. There's no doubt about it. And controlling anxiety or even depression. So absolutely. Hello, John and J.A. I know you guys are live and it isn't Memorex.
It's not Memorex. If everyone remembers that. Remember that guy that was the commercial with the guy sitting in the chair, right? In the leather chair, and he's blowing out. The speakers were blowing. Remember? It was the explosion.
That was one of the most famous.
I was just running. That was really cool.
So
they were like 30
the brother of a certain age says, I prefer the mic in front of me. And what is that mic? And if you have a shotgun mic, let me know what type of shotgun mic are you using. So we don't have to get into like spending a lot of money because, I mean, some people vlog and they just want a little shotgun, a tiny micro on. Some people are improving their sets and they're looking for maybe an NT5 or maybe an NTG Rode, right? And they want to make improvements and use them in their videos. So this way they're if they're doing something that's video related, it's going to be boomed right above out of the scene, and you can talk and it sounds great. No echo sound effects, but here's the thing that I really want to talk about is when we talk about mics, there are several types of polar patterns. And when we talk about patterns, we're talking about the way the mic accepts the sound that's coming into the mic, okay? And the reverb and the bounce back off of the items around you, okay? We'll make it real, just like really, really simple. When you have a condenser mic that has a typical polar pattern, which would be, say, a cardioid, okay? Let me just get rid of this little chat down here. Boom.
Yeah, make it
then you would have this heart. Now they call it cardioid because it is a heart shape. That's actually why they call it that. And so the heart shape is this, and you're out front here, and you speak into this, and it picks up mostly around you, in front of you, behind you, and then you can go to, like, say, a omnidirectional, and you could see how this mic would be the kind of mic maybe you would have with, like, a bunch of people in the middle of a room, and you would definitely have to keep quiet while other people are talking, but it would pick up a pretty even pattern throughout the room, okay? And listen, by no means are all these mics going to be exactly what they say. There's variations in these cardioid patterns, and they can vary greatly sometimes. But as you look over here, this is what I want to point out, okay? That you can get, like, say, let's pick a Sennheiser 416, which is one of the most popular things that all the big YouTubers use. That's $1,000 shotgun mic, right? That is a cardioid pattern, I believe it is, right? And I don't believe it's a super. I think it's a cardioid, or it could be a super, okay? And so even if it's a super cardioid, you could see that it's still picking up around pretty much the same, but also why it sounds so good for someone that's speaking is because it's picking up a lot more right in front, okay? So the closer to your mouth, that is, it picks up a lot of right out of your mouth right away. And you can see down here, this little balloon on the bottom is even bigger. So this hypercardioid is even picking up more of the front, and it's just pushing everything away. You can see on the side, it's not too great. On the side here, on a shotgun mic, you can see how it goes further back, right? So it bounces right back, and you get reverb on this because it's such a narrow pattern. So it basically hits behind, bounces back, and picks up from the side a little bit. So you can get more of a bounce back off of a shotgun mic if it's set up where you have nothing behind you and it's a hard wall. You can definitely hear a lot more of what's around you.
That's not good all the time. You get those transients, and that can be a real problem.
It's
that's
a real
some
battle.
Shotgun mics, it's a battle. Inside is not. They're great for outside, but inside, that's a real. You're probably getting to that. Sorry.
So the thing is, though, if you have a treated room, right? And when I mean treated, it's professionally treated with things on the walls that absorb a lot of the sound.
Panels.
Cost money, right? I mean, it's no joke.
Lots of money.
And so if you're a person that's looking for a mic that is actually going to be better in an untreated room, okay, then you would probably want a supercardioid or a hypercardioid mic, and you would probably want a pencil mic. And that type of mic is going to sound much better for your YouTube videos, and even if you were doing a live situation. So then you're saying, okay, well, what's your suggestions on this, John? And I'm going to see if there's any kind of questions, because I know I'm talking about a lot of stuff, and I don't want to get into the nitty-gritty details of all this because a lot of this stuff can be kind of overwhelming. But I just want to let you guys know that the most popular mic, that 416, which a lot of people use incorrectly, costs $900 to $1,000. And I can probably find a mic that would sound just as good for about $120. And then if that mic is, you want to step above, then I'm going to show you something else. So the Flippin' Sports guy says shotgun mics sound like the name of many guys in Philly.
It's a new mascot.
Okay.
Drive-by shotgun mics.
Tinkerbell Vlogs is saying hi. How are you? Thanks for coming in, saying hi. I appreciate that. Okay, so is everybody kind of listening here, or is there anything question-wise? Oh, geez, thank you so much, Blind Guy, his wife, and their life for the super chat, $10 super chat. Thank you. This is why I like you guys, John and Jeff. You give so many answers. The mic in front of us is restrictive, and you all are the only ones helping. I've consistently grown my numbers by giving before I get. Right. And you know, we can have a whole discussion about that. And we know we're nobody, you know, Jeff is a super intelligent business guy. I'm the 7th grade, you know, a graduate of 7th grade. So I listen to Jeff and we do our thing, and we're doing pretty good for being super beginners. And this information is hard to come by because, listen, who's going to come in and argue with a guy that has 50,000 subscribers? You know, you think they know what they're talking about, you know? But here's the thing. Like I've told you, I'm a guy that questions everything. And so I got to go and find out myself what really is the most useful thing. And being the kind of person I am and Jeff is, which is ridiculous. Jeff and I buy a lot of the same things. And we don't even talk about it. Like all of a sudden, like, what are you looking at? What am I looking? And we were buying the same thing. It's about saving money and getting the best results for that money. And what could you do with the other money that you spent on something that you didn't have to, right? You could have improved other areas in your YouTube channel.
Well, that's a great question. Like, would you rather spend some time on something you spend less on, but you can get more out because you have knowledge, or would you go spend twice as much and never have the knowledge behind it? And do you think you get more out of that or more out of lesser with more knowledge? It's an interesting balance, and it always has a trade-off. I will give you one trick though. If you know, you're talking about whether it's a cardioid or hyper, if you really want to bang out some of those transients, it's the angle too. So when you angle down your condenser right in front of you, don't some people put it straight out. Angle it to where it goes towards your chest even. Right. Because that will absorb a lot of that. It's such a direct hit, and it will catch your mouth coming out. So there are ways, play with that, and There's techniques. Actually, even with, yes, because I don't have one untreated here, and that's really, there are great ways to angle things to kind of take some of that buffer and smooth it out. It's still, you're dead on about the patterns though. I mean, I need to kind of look into getting a hyper.
Yeah, there's a lot. And let me go back to this real quick. John, I got the Shure MV7. It cost me $200 on sale. Yeah, that's a great mic. It sounds good. There's nothing wrong with that. But that MV7 is not a mic it's a mic like this, right? That we put in front of us and we keep it in the shot, and you're going to sound the best you can.
It's a dynamic mic.
It's fantastic. There's nothing wrong with that. I think what we're talking about is more of a shotgun mic that goes out of the scene, and because I noticed that a lot of people don't want to have a mic in the scene sometimes. So this is why I wanted to bring this up a bit and get a little bit of an idea what people think of these types of things. So where was I before too? I had someone else's thing up. It was a question.
Type of question?
I apologize if I miss anything. I just want to make sure. I want to show you guys these couple things. So let me go quickly and show you an example of the mics that I kind of, you know, really approve of for the price. And it's not something that I would be personally getting myself, but this is a mic that is definitely going to be good for anybody that's starting out. And I have a different mic, and there's nothing wrong with starting out with not the best. I mean, it makes no sense to spend for things that are super high end when these things would be super adequate. You have to realize that being a tech channel, my whole thought process is a little different than the majority of people that are watching here. But this is an example of a great little mic setup. Now, we had Darren talking about these. We'd had Sammy had brought these up before in the past, and these are condenser microphone. This comes with a pair, so it's actually you're getting two. So if you want to record in stereo, you can. But both of these mics, right? They take a audio interface, and it has an XLR. It's an XLR mic. So these plug into an audio interface still. They're not USB. So you would plug these in, and you could put the little muff that comes on top with those, and a basic holder comes with them. And you would put these a little bit out of the scene. These mics sound great. They really are super adequate for just about anybody. And then at some point, if you're becoming a professional YouTuber and you want to upgrade to something else, then you're going to go easily from this price point of $120. It's hard to hit something much lower. You're going to get into the closer to the $250 to the $300 range. Okay. And so this is the kind of polar pattern. If you look on here, you can see that little shape on there is the polar pattern on here, and it's going to do a real good job on picking up the speech in a YouTube, a live stream that you may have where you don't want the mic showing. So these are a great example of it. So keep an eye on these. And this is I want to show really quick, maybe an example of a good under $100 mic that you could pick up. That's a condenser mic, the AKG P120. I did a review on this. I have it up as a video. If you take a look, it's the MXL 990 versus the AKG 120. This is a fantastic mic. I chose this mic as the better mic for under $100. And I really like the way that mic sounds. And then when we talk about audio interfaces, the cheaper quality versions of one would be a Focusrite Scarlett. And the Scarlett comes in what they call a solo. Okay, so solo it's basically one mic input, and then you can hook up a balanced instrument, or you could play a guitar and sing at the same time. But the great thing about spending a little bit more and getting a 2i2 is you see how it opens up in here. You can plug in a balanced input in the middle. It takes a quarter-inch XLR in the middle, or TRS, I should say, and then a XLR cable. You can have two mics with this unit. Okay. And so then you can have like another person with you, and you can connect two mics, and that would be a simple audio interface that you would want to pick up a Scarlett 2i2 or a Solo, Jeff. And for the price,
and Scarlett is, you can't beat it. I mean, it's a little underpowered for some of the mics, like the 7B,
right?
The SS7B. So you might need some kind of booster, but to your point, it works really well, and it's a great. I mean, it's a really good, tried and proven audio interface. So,
yeah,
I love it.
I mean, listen, if you're
for the
buying,
money, I would get the 2i2 for the money.
Yes, the 2i2.
You're not
right.
spending that money.
If you're spending that kind of money to get a SM7B, then you're better off getting maybe something that is gonna coincide with that type of thing. You're going to have to get a cloud lifter on just about everything that would take an SM7B. So keep that in mind also.
Almost.
Now I remember the thing I missed. It was David Hunt. He was asking about...
I saw that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he had a question.
He was asking about the Rodecaster Pro versus the PodTrack 8 versus
Go XLR.
Go XLR. Okay?
Right
and
here.
I can't remember where it is. Right, which is right there. So I can't tell you how many times that we really have talked about this in depth a lot of times. And when we talk about this, the PodTrack 8 and the Rodecaster Pro, right? A lot of similarities. The Rodecaster Pro is a proven animal for that type of situation. I really wouldn't steer from it because I think their software is so powerful. They're always upgrading it. I just sold my Rodecaster Pro to another content creator, Dr. Elo. And so he's using it, and I'm impressed with it. It's just, it is more directed towards a person doing a podcast, and it's exceptional.
I guess we need to ask David, are you going to be doing like multiple in studio interviews where you need that extra connection? Are you going to go out and do podcast remotely, or are you going to do live streams and basically single-sided, recorded videos? Because it makes such a huge difference. And there are some pros and cons between each. And if you let us know where you're leaning, I bet you we could quickly tell you what we think you should use based on that. I'm very, very familiar with the Cool XLR inside and out. So and you, of course, so much about the Rodecaster. So
yeah. So the Rodecaster, I think, it's a great product for what it is. But
good point.
It's versatile to some extent. Like everything, it's not perfect. So I do more streaming than anything. I won't have a podcast. So myself, I would rather have the Wave XLR with all the audio routing to be able to control in streaming. And then I would use my audio interface to be able to run my speakers and if I wanted to have a two mic situation. So if you're looking at my desktop, over the top, basically, I run the two things here. I run this audio interface is the Wave XLR that has the routing I talked about. And then the background, you see this here. This runs and controls and puts outputs to my speakers, but I could also do 2 extra mics that go into that also. Don't mind this black stuff on my hand. That is tar from being up on the roof from connecting a PTZ camera mount. So
I'm sure that's what it is.
Yeah, I need kerosene to get that off practically. But the thing that I want to show you is these are the speakers, right? So the Wave XLR, Jeff, right? We're not running speakers off that thing. It's not meant for that. It's meant for streaming and routing, and that's the best job that it does, right?
Yeah. Again, if that's the thing, like the Gold XLR and the Wave XLR are different too, and there's a lot of similarities. And so again, there are pros and cons for the Gold XLR over the Wave XLR, although I'm using the Wave XLR exclusively at the moment. But again, it's a little bit of it depends. What you're doing, what may you want to do as you augment maybe anything, so you have a little bit of future proofing, I guess.
Right.
I would say. Audio routing, unless you're really good at it, you're good at voice meter and you care to use that. That's a really big deal for live streamers, especially. Yeah. So, let us know. I mean, that'll really help. Because unlike the Wave XLR, the Gold XLR does have audio out, and I can't really show. Well, I could show it, but I mean, it does actually have audio out. I don't know if mine's going to actually grab this because my eyeballs. So there are actually more outputs on the Gold XLR than there are on the Wave XLR, for what that's worth.
Right.
I'll pop it up here. So you're going to see there's a line out there that you could send that to, if you want to send to speakers, you can, or to a second PC to run a 2 PC, and that's probably not what he's going to use it for. That's a gaming thing, of course, usually.
Right.
But Tommy's right. I mean, I used the SM7B without a lifter of any kind, and it was fine. But you do have to push hard on it, and at some point, it just depends. If people are, they may find they don't have a great cord and it's really picking up floor noise. So if you have a really good cord and it's running short distance and you got good connections, I think you can get away with it fine. But I also think that you probably would maybe a benefit if you have one laying around to throw it on.
Yeah. But here's the thing.
If you do the math, it's fine. But
you can't find every audio interface that has 60 dB. So my Mo 2 that I have that I showed you on my desk, that's got 62 dB of power, whereas the Rodecaster,
but he's
55ish.
But he's familiar with the Gold XLR like me, so he uses it. So he's just saying, hey, that math works for that. But he's right. I mean, the Gold XLR it's got a Midas preamp. And if you don't know what a Midas preamp, they're nice preamps. They didn't skimp on their preamps, and so I feel like they're pretty powerful. And I never felt like I got to have a lifter for my SM7B, but I was also maxing the gain pretty hard on it too. So.
Yeah. I mean, that's the thing. You will, but thank God, like the Mo 2, if you max the gain on this, it's such good quality preamps, you're not going to hear any sound out of it. So you can do it with some things, but if you have a cheaper preamp, even if you're getting 60 dB of gain, but it's not a quality preamp, you're going to hear hiss. And so those are the types of things. But Art has talked
Yeah.
about this before, and I did look these up, and we did have a little bit of this discussion, and Art happened to be there last time. So I hopped on when the pencil mics were on the screen. So there you go. The SE Electronics SE7 is a fantastic mic for indoor shotgun style placement with ambient pickup. And so he is correct. And those are decent mics. They get underlooked a lot, but I found something a little better for me. And you really got to do your own research on things. And but there's something in here. I don't know.
No, it's not a cigar.
Is there a cigar?
Definitely not a.
This is a humidor?
Definitely not a Nobel Prize.
I don't know.
Definitely not a.
What is this saying?
It's definitely not a. You just
Oh,
need to get it. You're
From
it's not a
Russia
Mensa
with love.
membership.
What is
Oh,
this?
you got an Octava. You piece of garbage. You said you were not going to get
What is
one. Did you
this?
get an Octava? Oh, I'm
What does
gonna-
that say?
Oh, anyway, it's been nice, guys. I'll see you another time. I no longer like John. By the way, he's full. He's
So-
full of it. Don't ever listen to this guy. I hate you.
Hey, listen, they weren't available a couple months ago. And so
They weren't.
I have been wanting
did
this.
Did you grab it on Amazon, or did you have to go overseas?
I
to
grabbed
Russia
it on
and buy
eBay.
Ah,
eBay.
gee. So I noticed you didn't tell me. Like I see something. I'm like, hey, John, man,
2
there's a
days
really
ago,
cool thing
bro.
on eBay.
This was 2 days ago. 2 days. 2 days
my
shipping.
my phone wasn't working 2 days.
I've been busy. I was at work. When I'm at work, Sammy, I install PTZ cameras, and that's part of the things that we do, and regular cameras for that matter. But this,
I've got pencil mic envy.
yes, he's right. Rubbing alcohol work. I just don't have many things in the house, and to be honest with you, I took a shower, came home, and just came down and started streaming.
He's playing victim. Ignore him.
So
He
Tommy
got an
ordered
Octava. I don't really care.
SM7B.
Mad right now. I'm so mad. I can't believe it. We spent hours after shows talking about it. And you're like,
Yeah,
I'm
but
not
I'm
going
the
to
one
get
that
that.
found
I'm going to
this.
get the. So what? If I found it, I would have told you, and then we could have like fought it out on eBay. We could have
See,
run the price up. And
Now we're going to pump and dump this thing. People are going to be like, what's an Octava? So here, right, this is from Russia. This comes in a nice
beautiful-
wooden box. And
awesome.
It is.
You got the extra heads and everything, or did it come with the extra
You'll
capsules?
see. And this is certified from them, from
No,
Russia.
I won't be here much longer. I'm leaving the stream, so you might
And
want to tell me now.
This right here is, I don't know if is this working right today? Yeah. So here's an XLR cable that plugs into the back of this little thing. It's about the size of a cigar, right? So you take
The
this,
size I expected from you.
and this is your polar pattern, your hypercardioid head. And you can change different heads on this mic for different polar patterns. And this will screw right on the front. And then I plug this right into the XLR. And this is going to be just out of view up here and as I talk. And so I'm excited to try it out because it's a really good quality mic. And with tax being sent to me, that was $266. So this is the type of mic that you guys should be looking at if you want to go above the CO2s that I showed you from Amazon for 116. So this is an Octava 012 with either a cardioid or a hypercardioid mic head. And so they're both really good. I was looking for a single capsule Octava when I found, and I thought that you said that last time. And these Octavas have been around for a while, but then there was some issues with being imported with extra taxes. And so it was rough to get. Years ago in 2012, they were making fake ones and there was issues. And then these are available now. And with everything included, it was $266. So
I'm really happy for you.
stop already.
No, that's
So-
great. We talked about that forever, and I really, the only reason I didn't pull a trigger back. Right now I have a Shure 137 overhead pencil mic, which I used, and you heard it the other day on a test demo I was doing, and it sounds really good. It's about that. Fight. Yeah, we're gonna claw each other's eyes out. I guarantee in a fight.
Did you see Miss B Finesse subscribe to you today? Also,
you threw it up there for 2 seconds. I was gonna say something, but you were talking over her, so you're being rude. Thank you, Miss B. I have so much. I'm really being all passive aggressive. He knows I'm kidding. So actually, I'm very happy for it because I do want to hear it. And I'm sure you're going to send it to me to test out sometime or sell it to me for a couple dollars cheaper.
No, this is not a get rid of for me. I'm keeping this. This will be, I have a very cheap shotgun mic that can go on the camera. But this is going to be the quality out of shot mic, and it won't leave the studio for most of the time. So David's saying, I thought David, by the way, hi David, how you been? But I thought that he already had a Rodecaster Pro. I could have sworn that he did. I didn't know that. So he says, I'm looking at doing a podcast as well as live streaming.
There's your answer.
Occasionally, I'll have my family, total of 4, singing with me. Listen, to be really honest, it's hard to cover every base, right, with it. So here's the thing. As far as the versatility, you can do all these things, but to be what I want to do, which is an exceptional streamer and have the ability to control as much as I can in general, where I can control the music coming in loud, how not loud. I can control the video separately. I can control several things that I want to have separately. You can't do those things with the Rodecaster Pro, and having mix minus in the Rodecaster Pro built in is really great for some live streaming aspects with multiple people. But when you're talking about streaming in general, a one-man show most of the time, nothing's going to beat the Go XLR or the Wave XLR for that matter.
No, just not.
But
so that'll be the challenge. But
his situation, he's I would pick personally, and I think the majority of people would pick the Rodecaster over the podcast.
Well, it's a no-brainer if he's going to have 4 people singing with him. I mean, that's not going to work out on the Wave XLR. So
no,
if you're going to have 4 people singing with you.
Yeah, he was comparing it to the pod, whatchamacallit, the pod track, I think it's called, or something.
Oh, yeah, I just kind of pushed that off to the side. I think between the 3 of them, those 2, I would go head-to-head. I mean, either the Wave, Gold XLR. Now, I like the Gold XLR because I still like having sliders. I think that's better. Now, you can add on, and there's some ways to modify the Wave XLR to do that as well. So, but if it's not important to you, then, it's not that big of a deal. I'll also say that once you've set your volumes, you're pretty good to go. And then if you really intermingle the Stream Deck, which has so much actual power, you can do a lot, but the routing is an issue. I don't know. How do you plan on routing your issue, David? Like, do you use voice meter? Now, with the Rodecaster, you can do some physical inputs to help deal with like some music.
Yeah. Well, right? That's the thing. If he's running 4 people off of the Rodecaster with mics, then it's not a big deal. He has nothing to do but just control the gain on each one, that and fade one out, come in, whatever he wants to do, right? He can mute, he can control that, and you could basically have one USB channel, and then the workaround to bring in some separate music is to use like an iPad or something on the side that's plugged in, and that's all fine, and it all works, and it makes it versatile in those ways that you do it. But nothing is as easy for streaming as the Wave XLR and the Go XLR. No.
But I mean, ultimately, just get both and then swap them out for different purposes. Just get both.
That's
well, no, I'm not kidding. I mean, it's not that I mean, money's money. I don't want to like dismiss, but anyway, the Wave XLR is $150-ish bucks. I mean, it's not like it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
There'll be some used things. I know the Gold XLR is actually a little more costly. So if money's concerned, just get the Wave XLR. That'll set you up. It's a great interface. I love it. Again, I missed the sliders, but I'm going to add on the Pro panel to get the sliders. But to be truthful, John, I used to complain about that with the sliders, but we talked about it. Once you set your levels,
right?
And the beautiful thing is, you don't think about with the Stream Deck, you use actually buttons there to set our music. I set my intro music and other music and sound effects, and by using the Stream Deck buttons and the Stream Deck internal sound settings, you set your levels within Stream Deck anyway. And once it's set at 24% or 75% of your max volume, whatever you're doing, you really don't need to go back often and tweak it. So the sliders become a little less of a
struggle
most of the time.
Right.
Yeah, I think initially it's like more of a crutch, and then after a while you're like, oh, now with with the way we're doing it. I haven't really had a need. The only thing I'm just going to say again, I don't like some of the setup on the Wave XLR, the toggling through things. But again, if I'm just being honest, you don't really do it that much during the stream anyway. There's no need. So
and there's workarounds for everything.
There is. And I kind of feel like a lot of those complaints I had originally about it were a little sticky and irrelevant as I've dug into it more and more. I feel like
there's a learning curve on everything, but once you get past it, then you could see what things can do. It's pretty amazing what a roadcaster can do if you're using that type of thing for yourself, right? Or you're a podcaster. We talked about this so many times of what that can do, and the same thing with the Wave XLR.
Sorry,
go ahead.
Did you try to use voice meter with it at all? Did you get into that?
No, I didn't want to use voice meter. I've read enough that I didn't want to use it for possible latency issues, possibly 90% of the things I wasn't going to use with it. And I just felt like, why am I going to use that when I know something is going to work better anyways? And so I prefer the ease of the software with the Wave XLR. I'm going to prefer the updates that come along with it that are going to make it better and better. And now, I'm so happy that I haven't done it yet, but you have the VST3s get added right to my Wave XLR.
Okay, yeah. That would to me ended up being a deal breaker because I will say the Go XLR has their built-on digital processing audio effects, and it's actually really good, but it's what it is, and it'll work, and it works on the machine, so you can go through the software and it takes the CPU power off and puts it onto your deal. The Wave XLR trade-off is you can then use any VST3, so you have all these flexibilities. I use the Wave 3 Suite, for example, and so I feel like that flexibility is great, but it's going to use more of your CPU because it's going to do that processing on your computer. But I looked at that. It's pretty negligible. It's really not even worth worrying about, to be honest with you. But man, if you're going to do live streams and you want a VST plugin to have a super condenser mic, but you got a little white noise, and you want to pull up an NS1 VST3 noise suppression
or
plugin,
an EQ for that matter,
or an EQ,
small 5
just
band.
make you sound studio. Yeah, you can use any mic almost in any environment live. I will do that. Next week, maybe I'll throw my worst condenser mic I have on. I have a very vibrant room right now because I don't have the acoustical panels that I keep talking that I want. I'll throw that on there and throw the NS1 on there, and we'll just try to make it juiced up and have fun with it. But I'm with you on that. I think that's a deal breaker, the VST3s, for me.
Right. Right,
and so Tommy, I just wanted to say, Tommy, we didn't really address it, but Tommy was saying he did actually get a cloud lifter and a Gator arm.
So the cloud lifter was a no-brainer. That was a great thing to get your hands on with it. And
I think so.
The Gator arm is, you may like it, you may not like it. So try it out and see what you think. Yeah, it's not my thing, but see how you like it, and then you'll know right off the bat. I mean, I've heard that it's a little clunky, and
I was gonna say I heard it was a little noisier.
Adjustments too.
Yeah, so some of the angling that you get on this PSA 1, I don't know how to explain it to you, but the angle that remains, I just like it a lot. But you may love it, so you know. David does use loopback.
Yeah, so here's the thing, right? He uses loopback, but a loopback is $100 in itself. So let me say how much of an advantage it would be then if you were basically getting the Wave 3 system or a Wave XLR, right? Because say you had an XLR mic already, then you wanted to get the Wave XLR. It's $160, $60 more. Okay, you don't have to use the third-party software that is a little more complex for most people. You'll have an easier software to work with, plus a great streaming setup with using the Wave XLR. So that's what I'm talking about. Or say you were looking to get a USB mic, you can get the WaveLink system with a USB mic that is made by Lewitt, right? Lewitt makes their mic.
And it's Lewitt out of Australia. Yeah, part of Rode. So they make I believe Lewitt makes the Rhodes. Yeah.
And that's very nice, right? That they sound pretty darn good. And so then you have a USB mic that's pretty decent quality, and then you're going to be pulling that software comes with it, and it's approximately around $130. Actually, it's something I saved that I could show in a little bit exactly what it's going for.
I will say the integrated unit with the Gold XLR, with the Wave XLR, the way that both companies have done that, it's sublime. And the way they just automatically behind the scenes set your virtual cables up for you. The problem is David can't use the Gold XLR if he's using a Mac, so that kind of takes that out of the mix already. So if he's got a Mac, the Gold XLR
Is out of
don't
the
even
question.
think about it.
Right.
So then, and that's fine. So then we both would probably push you more to the Wave XLR if you ever thought of that. But man, that is the integration is so amazing with the software and the way it handles the virtual cabling and routing. I don't know. Loop is great, but it is $100, but he already has it. So, I mean,
Yeah. Yeah, Tom Buck does have a nice video on the mic arms. And here's the thing, I mean, it's as simple as like we use the PSA 1 all the time, and it's a great mic. And then the Elgato, the low mic arm that they have out in the high one. I mean, they're not perfect, but for a lot of people, it's a better situation for most. But I think Tommy had a Rode arm beforehand, didn't he?
I don't know. I would say this. So mine's going on 6 months. I use it like nonstop.
Right.
I don't have any squeaking. It's stiff. I mean, stiff, but not stiff. I say it's been better than I thought, but give us your Gator feedback because I definitely want to know. Come back and we'll have them on to do a Gator test and we'll check it out.
Yeah, and I want to get back to just a couple more things for people to keep their eyes on when we're talking about some of these types of things. Like basically, if you're just starting out, there's a lot of times there's two types of cameras that a lot of people get. And we all know, and so we don't really have to go into it too much, but a lot of people will talk about the Logitech 920 or 922, right? It's a
Right.
go-to
Yep.
for that matter. And the 922 is going for about $85, and the 920 is going for about $56, okay? And so basically you can go with the 920 and it would be just is pretty equal in the usability and everything about it for that price. But if you're looking not to go and spend a ton of money on a mirrorless camera, you're not ready for that, but you want something that's a little bit above that quality, you got to roll with one of these things right here. It would be one of my choices. This would be the Elgato Face Cam that just came out. Now listen, is it a little pricey? It is a little pricey. For $199, but that's why I'm saying keep it on your radar for Black Friday, and say this thing comes down to $175. It's a good quality camera. Put it on your list. Read some reviews on it. If you don't want to spend the money for a mirrorless, because listen, let's just be honest. When you get a mirrorless camera, you're not just spending on the mirrorless camera. You're spending on a couple cables also. And then what did I talk about last week? Then you're going to have to go and find a capture card on top of it. So it becomes a little bit more pricey with everything added. This could be a go-to for a lot of people. So keep that in mind and take a look at this USB camera that came out by Elgato about 4 months ago. So that's another thing. And then listen, if you're streaming and you're a streamer, we are in love with Stream Decks, right? There's not anybody here that doesn't love the Stream Deck. If you're streaming, you know what it can do for you. You know how easy it makes things. You know how it limits your mistakes in the streams. So keep this in mind. And this comes in, listen, this comes in a 6 key. Don't even waste your breath with the 6 key. Get at least the 15, if not the 32 key. Right? So I think Jeff froze. But so the 32 key is where I am right now, but you can go for a 16 or 15, and keep a lookout too on Facebook because Facebook always has good deals where people are just getting rid of stuff. So if you look in there in Facebook and you find someone selling this for $100, or I found somebody with a 32 key for $160. So that's another option to look at. And don't forget this. Now, I did a live stream on this, guys, and these are on sale this week. So you get another $13 off of this for these RGB lights that I actually am using for my background light. But listen, it's not going to work on glass. It's not going to work on wood. It's going to work on a painted background. Typically, the best backgrounds would be a gray to a white background. Would be really the best things to have. But these lights, for the price, that come with an app that you can change all the colors, that I did a live stream on that you could take a look at, are a good choice to splice up the background of your live stream. And let's just take a look at one more thing that's going to be kind of like out of the blue a little bit here. The ZV-1, which I use for my overhead cam, is this view right here. Okay, you can get this, and that's a camera that has a built-in lens. It's a great camera. You guys know what the ZV-1 is. A lot of you may have one. But you can get this Ulanzi wide-angle lens that you can adapt to it. Now, I picked mine up like 6 months ago for $42. Keep an eye on this. If you can find and save yourself $10 on this, which mine with tax was around $42, $39.99, save $10, adapt this. You can unscrew this lens when you don't want to use it. And it also comes with another lens that lets you get up really close macro pictures with your ZV-1 that are super clear. And then also there's a wide angle also. So keep that in your back pocket of possibilities if you own a ZV-1, guys. That's what I've been watching. But along the way, there's always these types of things where we can always use like an adjustable articulating magic arm. There's small ones by Small Rig that work really well for doing types of things that you may be mounting or using for various types of camera systems. My overhead is using one of these and is angled down off of an arm, and this is exactly what I'm using with a clamp that you can pick up and attach to the bottom, which is pretty much these clamps that are right here. And so there's a lot of different things you can do, and that will help you improve with setting up your hardware, your cameras, and etc. that you're looking at. But let's look at if there is anybody in here asking any questions. And I know I'm talking a lot, but I want to get you guys this information because it's interesting stuff that can really help most people. Like Zan the Man is here, and he has a ZV-1. So that might be the possibility. Jeff is stunned, by the way. Jeff, what do you think? So he's froze. I don't know what's going on with Jeff, but I'll wait till he comes back and we'll see how he makes out with this. But yeah, so that's one of the other possibilities. Zan the Man has one. So yes, so Darlene, did you see I set up Instagram? I did, and I gave you a little heart, and I said, I saw you make a post, and so I see you on there. So if you ever have any questions with anything, Coffee Talk and Tech on Instagram, you guys are always welcome to send me a message and ask me anything if what your opinion is on if you need an opinion on anything. So the other thing is we got David Hunt. He's asking, what's all y'all's opinion on the Samsung line of Q2Us and Q9Us? So the Q9U, right, when it first came out, I thought it sounded really good, but I always have this like grouping of mics at a certain dollar value, and I always think that there's usually things that sound a tad better. So even if we get into the Q9U, I way more prefer this RE320. And this one cost me $180. So it's not a bad mic, but it's really, that's the thing about mics. You'll never know how a mic exactly sounds until you get it and use it on yourself. But it's not a bad mic at all. But the other mic, the Q2U, is definitely one of those mics that is worth the value for the dollar. And Tommy's saying, yes, I have the PS1. And so why did you want to get rid of it? And why wouldn't you just keep on using it, Tommy? Do you not like it? So that's what I'm wondering too. And so other people have the Shure MV7, which I think is really good. How you doing, Jeff?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's freezing. And so let's see if anybody's saying. Here's Nick. This is his line. This is what he uses. What's up, everyone? How you doing, Nick? Thanks for coming in. I appreciate that. I hope you're doing well. And if we take a look at the Stream Deck XL, yeah, great thing to keep on your list. Those are things like, just keep it on your list. There isn't necessarily good things on sale yet. There's a variety of types of things, but not necessarily some fantastic things until you see them. So these are things that I want you to keep in the back of your list that may help you. How you doing, Jeff?
We'll see. I was apparently I was still upset about the Octava, and I just left. And I don't know. I've never had this happen in nearly 60 streams with you. Just don't, like, the internet says out, then it would, okay, we're out, and then it come back in, and then we go. I'm like someone's flipping a switch on and off.
Then
I've never had that happen.
Well, it will happen again, I promise. And it happened again. So yeah, the SM58 is a great vocal mic. There's no doubt about it. And the SM57 is even a cool mic for just speaking, for that matter. I like the way it sounds, especially for the price. Jim says he's got the Logitech C270 here, and the audio leaves a lot to be desired. I'm sure. So people are saying hi to Zan the Man. How you doing? Thanks for stopping in, Zan. We got Dimebag Darren in the house. And we have Bald Gamer stopping in. He's saying hello. How you doing, CJ? Good to see you. Thanks for stopping in. So Zan the Man saying, if you could, can you tell us of the benefits of why you need the thingy with the 32 buttons? So yeah. So here's the thing with the Stream Deck, right? You have all the buttons on the top interface. Say you have 32 or 15. You can always make another button for a particular software that you want to conjoin it with, right? And go 2 levels deep, but then you're going to have to hit the button again to get to that level and hit another button. And when you start on that road of finding what a Stream Deck can do for you and all the various things it can do for you, you're going to start finding out, man, I want to add more stuff. I just want to add this works, and this works, and you'll definitely use it up. And it just makes it much more easy to control when you have a certain top number of 32 to go through before you have to hit a next level down to get another 31, because you'd have to use 1 to get down to the next level. So I hope that kind of makes it easy, but it's not like something that you have to have, but it's a thing that you may find yourself, and a lot of people find themselves saying, I wish I would have skipped over to 15, just went right to the 32. And keep a lookout. Like I said, if you live in busy areas, you're going to find that you'll have no problem looking for these things used and really get a great deal on them. So keep that in mind too. So we got Nick saying, John, okay, brother, how are you? Thank you, man. I hope you're doing well. He said that he just wanted to change. Don't judge me. So you're getting rid of the PS1 and you want to try the GatorWorks. And what's good is, like, say you like that a lot better and it fits into what you're trying to achieve. I mean, hey, then it's better. And then you just have to say, if it's not something you want, you're sending it back. It's not a big deal. So I get you. So I'm cracking up. Jeff, come back. He's so mad at me. So let's see how Jeff is doing. Yeah, you're having a rough day with the internet a little bit.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see.
We'll see. I did a whole reboot just to see, but I don't know why that would matter. But sometimes you got to DNS flush this stuff, and I'm having a weird thing. I got 2 routers in the house. I need a new router. I have the same router you have. It's an older one though, the TP-Link, and I'm starting to get some feelings about it. But this was something else, because it just totally dumped me. It was weird.
So This is Mark Brown.
I missed everybody.
Until
Hi,
you
Mark. How
freeze
you doing?
again.
I mean, huh?
Until you freeze again.
Until I freeze again. I might freeze again. I mean, if I do, I apologize. I mean, I'm totally disrupting the show right now.
No, you're not. I just keep
feel
on
like I
flowing.
am.
So
Yeah,
this
I
is
know. You
Mark
don't-
Brown.
I don't need you, Jeff.
How you doing, guys? He's saying,
Nice to
and
meet you,
thanks for coming in. And he's also saying that he likes this shirt too. So that's awesome.
Aw,
Thank you for
well, that's
liking
okay.
the shirt. I'm
I
a
like
fan of
Mark.
Run DMC for sure.
All right.
So
gonna be
Jeff
big.
got the freeze tag champion of 2021. You are, he says. Someone's got to be a champion for that matter. So we got him saying Jeff is practicing red light, green light for upcoming Squid
Well,
Games.
I'll be honest with you. It was kind of perfect timing. I was able to take the dogs for a walk. I did my little potty break myself. I had some food. It was good. It was a good time. 4 hours later, I come back and here's John. Got
I'm
his
here.
5,000 subs. He's doing his thing. He's
So-
making it happen.
Dimebag Darren saying the Rode NT2A. I won't say that that's not a good mic. It is. It's a great mic. Rode makes several decent mics for price points for the quality. I think are exceptional. And so the NT1 is fantastic. The NT1A is fantastic. The NT2A, yeah, I'm with you, Dimebag. So there's no problem with that. And we know he's a big fan of the PreSonus Revelator, which, listen, I'm with you on that too. It's just they need to update the software once they iron all those things out. If they haven't even yet, like they might have really started on their way with this already. It really does offer a lot of pluses. So that is another thing. I think that's going for $199 right now, if I'm not mistaken. And that is something that you could keep your eye on if you're interested in a audio interface too that can do a lot of things. It's just the software when it first came out with the routing of, because it does audio routing, and that's why people do love it. But when you go to find out and you listen to what people are saying about the preamps being hissy, and we don't know if that's the quality of the preamps or is that actually a software issue. Can they change some things through a firmware? That's where I have to back off and not recommend.
I think it's
something
hardware.
Like that.
I think the amp is cheap. But
I think so too, because generally PreSonus is not higher end stuff in general.
I've used a ton of PreSonus over the years for mixers, etc. I have the PreSonus FP10 right now is one of my interfaces.
Right.
I don't want to say they're garbage. They're kind of really entry level, but they're buggy. Their software has always been a little bit off, and their quality of parts aren't the greatest. But I still have some of their stuff, so I get it.
Right. Yeah, I mean, listen, some other stuff is good for what it is. But it's just not,
My
it's
cable
just
bill.
not for me to deal with that. I think it's just, listen, the Wave XLR it's not everything that it needs to be, but I feel that they're going to come out with a 2.0 version, and it can have 2 inputs, 2 outputs. And I'm all about that when that happens.
Yeah, see, I like what they're doing. Like, I'm a big fan of that Gold XLR, but I feel like they had the big Gold XLR, like, gamers. And they went and hit that market, and then they tried to get everybody else with the Mini, and they went backwards. Or I think Wave's doing it right. They're like, we're going to go from here. We're going to really fine-tune and figure out what else is good. Like, they add the VST3, beautiful.
Right.
Like, kudos to them for going, that's the way. Plus, they already have a really nice sub-routing, which the Gold XLR does not. They're beta testing it. But they passed up the Gold XLR. I'm just going to be honest with you. I hate to say it. It's true.
Yeah, and then it's just I wanted to jump on this because I think it's
Zan, I have
a way to go. But if there's no other questions out there and nothing that I missed, and I apologize. It's always an issue to keep up with everybody sometimes about what they're saying. But Healthy Bearded says I have the regular Stream Deck, which probably is the 15, and that's the thing. Like, the resell on these Stream Decks are great too. So say if you paid $150 right now, okay? Yeah. So you'll sell it for $100 next year, okay? And if you feel you need a 32, scan around, keep your eyes open for quite a bit, and you might find somebody selling one of those. Mine was literally, I had to take the wrapping off the bottom. It was so new, and it was $160 for a 32. So they're out there if you look for them. And so Darren's saying many of us are abandoning Streamlabs OBS. So you're going to you're going to OBS Studio, because I have always stuck with OBS Studios. That was just my
I looked into Streamlabs. I just don't like Streamlabs, honestly. I don't like anything about their model. But I like the studio version, personally.
Yeah,
Much
me
better,
too.
but
Me too.
that's a preference. It doesn't mean that it's better. It's just for me it was better. So
Right.
thank you for hitting Mike.
So let me see if I missed anything.
I feel like I missed half the show, man. I feel left out. Like, what happened? When I was
No,
gone?
I don't think you did at all.
I feel like there's so much I missed.
I thought there was some great information, especially like if you took the time to take in the knowledge of a little bit of the pencil mics and the audio that we were talking about in the way different mics accept the audio. It's really important because a lot of people spend money on stuff that they don't have to. And the thing is, I'm basically begging people, before you spend your money, come in and check. Come in. Here's your chance to drop some info right here and connect with somebody that's using a majority of all this stuff.
I have a few audiophile people that I know, and they're like, oh, because I'm like, I really would like to have an out of shot mic, and I don't want to spend a lot. Whoa, that's fine. Just get the MKH 416
Right.
Sennheiser. I'm like, yeah, that's $999, but that's a little more than I want to spend. It's a nice mic, but I just, again, and especially in a controlled setting like a studio, and I say controlled because, again, if you don't have your walls treated, et cetera, it's not as treated, but again, it's pretty isolated. I just think you don't need to spend that kind of money.
No.
I'm getting amazing results from a $140 pencil mic. I've used a $60 pencil mic on my trailer, and I wasn't really good at what my setup. If I did it all over again, I think I can make that sound even better. Good Lord. I just think there's so much you can do. Yeah.
And here's the thing. We're talking about what can sound really good live. And then when you do like your post video, like if you're doing regular video work and you go into post production, you can make these things even sound better, and that's a little work within itself and art.
And what's nice, if you're in the studio and you're kind of making recording shots in a structured environment, the nice thing about that is you can set presets, say you're using DaVinci or something, depending on what your DAW is. But I mean, you could absolutely set presets. It'd be like, I know with this mic in this setting, I have this preset, my voice sounds amazing. And then you just cut your process down to the limit.
Yeah.
So what are you laughing at?
Darren, because he says high-tech people just have more confusing issues. There are more buttons and dials involved. And I think that what really happens is that people get ahead of themselves a lot. So I think
They get over their skis, John.
They get over their skis.
The truth is, yeah.
You don't need a lot of this stuff to begin with, and these are things that you have to take what your channel's about, what you're trying to achieve, where you are, what your budget is the biggest thing, and all these types of things. But everybody's in a different position at this time.
Yeah, and what happens is sometimes, though, that's not true, because if you know what you're doing and you go deeper into something that's technical, you may find that actually makes things so much easier and less problematic and confusing.
Yeah.
But if you don't do the evolution correctly, you're just going to have a lot of tech and not know anything, and so you're going to underutilize it and be more confused.
Exactly.
So I just take it slow, learn, figure out what you need and what you don't need, man.
Yeah.
Sometimes we don't need all this stuff.
No,
we don't really have that much tech, really. Like, if we were being honest about it, I got a small Stream Deck. We got a Wave XLR with 1X input. We've got, a couple cameras, but I mean, technically, it's not like we're running $10,000, interfaces and equipments and all this hybrid components. It's not really that technical once you understand. But that's because you understand the chain. If you don't understand what we're doing, it's going to seem highly technical. So where's the relationship? What's the relativity of that, right? Is this technical or something else more technical?
I think that for someone that is in 6 months or a year into YouTube, I think we are technical, right? For the majority.
Technical or okay. I mean, we're productive. We get the results out of what we have, but there are people using probably 5 times the amount of money in their equipment than we are, even at 6 months. So does that make them more technical? No, but they have more technical equipment. That's the issue that Darren's addressing and that we're addressing.
Yeah.
So, you spend all that money. Again, the problem with the mics, going back to the mics is a great example. People, there really isn't a huge difference, honestly, with a decent, let's say $200, $300 mic and a $990 or $1,000 mic. If you don't know what you're doing, even the $1,000 mic's going to sound like garbage.
Well, that's what I said today. I just said, you're going to go and spend this money and you're buying something that doesn't even really equate to what you need. That was my whole reasoning of getting into the shotgun mic issue with the 416 versus having an Octava or having the SE7s that are $250 or having the CO2s that I showed were 116. I could make that sound better than the majority of people don't know how to use a 416.
Well, there's diminishing returns on all this. First of all, you spend all that money, but I mean, let's say that the new Octava that you have, which is considerably less than the 416 by about $800.
It's the proper.
It isn't, first of all, it isn't a huge difference, really. Your ears just aren't going to hear it. But here's the other issue. Are you outside, inside? We get back to that.
Yeah.
That 416 will pick up a ton of transient echoing back and distorting your sound.
And it does.
And creating all these things because it's going to go behind you. As John's saying, it's going to go way back there and it's going to bounce off, especially an untreated wall.
Exactly.
So, okay, you have $1,000 mic that sounds like garbage, but I can make one out of the box.
Oh, yeah.
Like $200 mic,
Listen,
or $180
I don't want
mic.
to embarrass the people, but I see the people who have them and use them. And personally, I see a lot of people that make them sound incredible because they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
And I see people that it does sound like literal garbage. Like you would have think that it's a $150 mic they're using.
And they do make it sound good, John, but they could probably take that same skill set and take the Octava, for example, against that 416, and you are going to have to bleed your ears to really know the difference, especially when you get on YouTube and compression and all this stuff.
That was my big point.
You can hear the bad stuff.
The Octava is made for an untreated room. This pencil mic in the cardioid shape that this is, which is a hypercardioid, it's perfect for an untreated room. And this is why I got that. The M16 is going to be better for someone who knows how to use it, and the 416 and is in a treated room. And that's a fact. So let me see if there's anything else going on. My wife doesn't want acoustic tiles on the walls, so we can't compromise. Right, exactly. I could see that. And David Hunt, the Rodecaster Pro, I think, is a great choice for you because of the things you're doing. And that's the thing. Not every type of piece of equipment, I'm not saying what's better and what's worse. We're discussing what fits the individual, their budget, what they're trying to achieve, what they're doing. So I see people that do live streams, but they also do podcasts. Well, then the Rodecaster is kind of like right up your alley. But I also see people that are more into streaming, like myself, and they're going to go and get a Go XLR, or they're going to get the new Wave XLR. And so that's what they're going to do. So
I don't know what's happening. I apologize.
And once again, it's more about just getting what is going to fit your situation. So you're waiting on some extra cash to get a Canon. There you go. So the M50 Mark II probably in her head, I would say. And then, of course, in my case, I record videos, right? But it depends where it is and how it is. Of what type of mic you would buy, I think, if that's what he's talking about. And by the way, hi, Rodrigo.
Rodrigo.
It's the end of our stream pretty much, so I'm just dropping in and seeing if there's anything else. Yeah, and you said I want a set of those CO2s, and I showed them Darren, and I actually said that Darren brought these up a while back. And for me personally, I just got an Octava 012 Darren that I'm going to use as a pencil mic. But when we're talking about budget, but decent quality, sounds good, a little bit of a high self noise in the CO2s. But listen, like I said, for 90% of the people out there, these are absolutely perfect and a steal for the money. And they're a little bit cheaper right now.
Did you talk about eBay, about how not to get the official versions of the Octavas. There is a thing you can look at, I believe. I don't really know what it is, but just be careful with that because there are a lot of actual not authentic Octavas floating around. That's all.
Yeah. Make sure this one was made. It came from Octava USA. Signed off on it. I made sure that the seller has sold numerous ones with no complaints, and they've had like 3,000 reviews. So yeah, do that too.
That's important
before you
for
buy.
sure. Yeah. Always go with somebody who's got some. Yeah.
And Jim is saying what we say a lot of times too, which is listening to a live stream. A lot of people are using limited speakers to even hear the differences in most cases, and that is very true because we do know that 90% of the people are using their phones and listening to YouTube, so it doesn't matter too much.
Yeah, I mean it's the compression, everything. By the time you're done, you're like, I don't know what's. I mean, if it's really really bad, you're going to hear it. The question is, if you have two people who know what they're doing, and they put a 412 and they know how to really juice up an Octava 012 or 16, will you hear that quality? Probably not. You'll hear but that's not the quality of the mics. It's the quality of the skill set and what you're doing. So the question is, maybe for $800, it's worth just kind of figuring out how to play with that a little bit. That's all.
So Patrick's heading out. He says, great discussion,
night,
fellas.
Patrick.
I'm out. Good night, everyone. Take care, Patrick. Have a fantastic night. Thanks for stopping in like usual. I appreciate that. We got Darren. He's saying that he wants to bring in, I think he wants a little bit of room noise coming in for his karaoke. And I think that for his situation, having a little bit of that ambient noise coming in is pretty cool for the energy, right? Because I think you want to feel the energy of the place you're in. So I kind of think he makes sense with that.
So when we do theater gigs and they want crowd noise, they set up mics behind the crowd. I think that's what he's talking about. So so I guess he's going to run something behind. Or he could run it in front of the audience, but a lot of times they run it behind. That just depends on the room. But yeah, it really does help. Otherwise, it's like watching a sporting event and you can't hear. Like there are sometimes I've seen on broadcasts where it's like, I can't really hear, all I hear the announcers. And you feel detached from what you're watching.
Yeah.
Secondhand rows. So it's exactly the same thing. You just feel like you're not a part of the experience if you don't hear. It's disturbing, actually.
Right.
It's weird.
But and then if you go the other way where that ambient noise is taking over everything. So I like the way at least Darren is doing it right now. I've listened to two of his karaoke gigs, and at least we can clearly hear the singing and him talking, a little bit of the ambient noise. But truthfully, I think he hit the head on the nail where a little bit more would be nice, but he's got a good thing going right now where at least he's got good quality sound going from the people that are singing. And I think that's important too. Secondhand Rose is in the house. Thank you so much for saying hello. We're just about to check out. This is the end of the show. If you guys didn't know, Jeff and I are both going to Mommy Lala, which is Mommy Guide Incorp is the channel. She's always in the chat. She was in earlier, and we're doing a little show on Saturday morning early. She does a crafty show, and we're her guests this week. JA and I are trying to be crafty. I don't know how that's going to work out, to be honest.
It's going to be dicey. I just want to show this, by the way. I don't know if you can throw it up there.
Yeah, I'll throw you on. Hang
on. I'm just one of the ways. There's a lot of ways you can tell, but I know I've read this before. The Octavas have white screws, by the way, and they have their own serial number. So that's a big help if you're trying to diagnose whether or not you have something that's a little more fake, like an ASM. This is completely fake. So that's probably your get is the white screw, and that's probably the easiest way to tell. If you're taking a look at the photos and things like that. But to John's point, those you buy from reputable people.
Yeah. That's like back in 2012. So don't look for like a used eBay version on these.
Right.
Because
exactly.
Get a new one.
Mm-hmm. Get a new one.
Get a new one. So come back to us.
I am. Give me a second, man.
So yes, the last show I just put up in Open 58 tried the MX in some ambience. Next week I'm going for more, one step at a time. Okay, so he's working on that balance between the ambient noise.
It's going to take a minute.
The other things. Let me see.
It's a hard thing to trial by yourself. You know what I mean? His only way of really practicing that is to have people there.
Yeah.
To run it. So
he
it's a little bit
actually
difficult to
asks
test.
us there a lot of times. He asks us, like, and he saw me come in, John, let me know how this sound is. And I give him feedback, and he's like, thanks a lot. That's what I'm looking for.
That's a good point, yeah.
I don't hear the difference in most cases because I'm actually listening with the Bluetooth headset. I'm either hard of hearing or not paying attention to. But here's the thing. Would you say that, Laquita, that you hear the difference in the way that Jeff and I sound? So to me, every time that I'm on a stream or someone else's stream or our own, I go back and listen all the time, and I see and hear super clear differences.
Yeah, it's pretty clear. I think the other issue is, as you get older too, by the way, we lose certain range in our hearing. That's just the way it is.
Yeah.
So that's part of it. And we don't hear some of that high end stuff, and we lose a little of that low end. But I mean, the other issue is, are you looking for it? Is it something you're aware of? Is it something that you've trained your ears to even hear that difference? And if not, it doesn't matter.
I would feel it near impossible not to hear the difference with the majority of our things.
You've heard enough. You know enough by now. You've been trained enough in your ears to know the difference.
So
I hear it too.
Mommy Lala's working in the background like she usually is a lot. So it's going to be a couple more minutes. We're going to jump off stream. We're actually doing a little test with Mommy Lala tonight. Mommy got Incorp, and we're going to be on her channel Saturday morning, and I'm excited about it. So just keep that in mind.
I get to use scissors.
Right, scissors, and run with them.
I get to use scissors, and I will run with my scissors. And I know I didn't call for it. I'm getting the glitter out.
That'll be all over.
I know.
Cashew, thanks for dropping her channel. So this is, if you want to see us on there, come by and take a look. I'd really appreciate that. No brainer. My messages got mixed, but what I meant was recording videos is the spending time in my production and the way that I solve low budget issues. Okay. Yeah, I copy that. Darren is, you guys should do a channel raid. Yeah.
Raid.
That'd be fun.
We do a channel. Yeah,
and so, okay, well, basically, we got Dimebag. He says, I go out with a tablet and Bluetooth headset to hear the stream like others would. I think a monitor on your live stream can be important. Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, depending on how you have setups, having that type of monitor stuff. And that's like, I monitor myself. I check everything beforehand. And that's usually why I don't have any audio mistakes. But listen, using softwares, using things that mix together, testing a lot of stuff that we and Jeff usually test, which I'm telling you is numerous things all the time. It's hard to always keep things absolutely perfect. So straight. Scissors meet timbers. Yeah. Don't run with scissors, Jeff. It's not the thing.
I'm going to. And I don't have those little curved scissors. They're small, but they're pointy. I'm a rebel.
You're a rebel. Thanks, Darren.
I'm a rebel.
Appreciated. I like that. Yes, the upper room where setup monitors in the back of the bands. Yes, right. Exactly. Yep. Yeah, there's always people giving feedback, especially on the professional basis, and Jeff knows that too. So,
I've done more monitor setups.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's about all the information I kind of want to get into today. I hope some of these things were really useful to you. I want to thank everybody who came in and joined the chat and contributed. Thank you so much for the kind super chats, the people that dropped some super chats. I really appreciate that more than you ever know. It's wonderful to receive the love. And thanks, guys, for hitting the likes and supporting the channel. Cashew, always thanks for doing a great job for us. We love the help that you give us and the support and the
streaming oversighting is wonderful.
Yeah, absolutely. And basically, don't forget also that we're going to be reaching out, and I'll put a stream up. Next Thursday is Thanksgiving. So this is, my Thursday before Thanksgiving. I want to say thank you to everybody. Enjoy your Thanksgiving. I'll see you on Jeff's stream if you're going to come to Jeff on Tuesdays. Guys, don't forget that's what we do Tuesdays.
Come on
at
over.
9 p.m.
It's fun. on and
Eastern
step up and say
time,
hi.
we do Jeff's stream, and it's right down at the bottom here. And then Thursday,
Look at that.
will be canceled for me next week. I'm gonna do a live stream on Black Friday. It's gonna be around 11 or 12. I'll put it up ahead of time. So thank you, everybody. It was great seeing you all. And good night to
everybody.
everyone. Good night. Thanks, Mom, for coming by. Abel's Treasures, thank you. I appreciate you.
Abel's. Appreciate you.
Vinny, I appreciate you. Thanks for coming by. No brainer.
He's okay.
Yeah, secondhand. Have a great night. I will listen on the rebound. Thank you. I've had a late work night. Good night. Come to my stream on Sunday and we could talk cats. Oh,
Hey, I used to have a Maine Coon cat.
yeah.
I used to have a Maine Coon.
A couple people have said that recently, actually. And we're mentioning
But they have Maine
that.
Coons?
Yeah.
that I had a
someone
Maine
else.
Coon?
No, that you did.
How do they
said
know
that.
I have a Maine Coon?
And last, you were born in Maine Coon. So she's got that.
funny.
Oops, just hit the like button. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. Darlene,
You can undo it. It's fine.
thank you so much. And Tommy, bye. Thank you, man, Tommy, for coming by. I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
And
That was awesome.
yeah, it's been great getting to catch a live stream again. Yeah, thanks.
It's good to see you, Art.
I hope family life's going well. It's busy. You have a newborn. I know it's crazy. I appreciate you coming in. Don't let your kids run with scissors. Art, when they get older, JA is a whole
Art,
different
I'm
story.
really worried about gluing my eyes shut. So that's something, because I touch my eyes a lot. So that's on my mind, losing sleep. I don't know. This is going to be awful for me. I don't know.
Well,
It'll be fun, but I could be 911 time.
Well, and then Mommy Guide is giving a shout out to Cashew, which she deserves, absolutely. And thanks, guys. I'll see you next week. I love you all. Enjoy your holiday if I don't see you. And we'll catch you on Friday, maybe about 11 or 12. Enjoy the rest of your night. Thank you for coming by. I appreciate you. Mommy Lala, we'll see you in a little bit. Take care now.
Ooh.